What are some, you've done this so many times. You said you mentor and you coach a lot of entrepreneurs as well. And you also see entrepreneurs, thousands of them through your platform.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the most common mistakes you see founders making, with their startups, or maybe areas that they underutilize or, maybe don't pay enough attention, focus to, and maybe more for SaaS founders or creators, either way.
Yeah. I'll speak to SaaS founders. I think one of the things that I see is that, well, actually a couple things. One, I really believe in persistence, and by persistence, I mean like constantly every single day trying to like do that 1% thing that's going to add up over time. And I see a lot of founders that like get very discouraged when, they do something and they don't get a ton of benefit from it. They were expecting 1,000 new customers and they got 5 or 10. And my motto and what I always try to tell entrepreneurs is just like, it'll pay off over time. And you just have to continue to do little things all the time. That kind of goes to my second point, whereas I see a lot of new founders that take way too long to ship. They try to polish everything. They try to make everything perfect. And, the market doesn't really care. The market just wants you to continue to improve, and eventually like you'll hopefully catch fire. But, no one cares when you have like a brand new website, no, the customer doesn't care. It's just constant improving and just staying in it for the long term. So persistence, super, super important. And don't give up. Like things take a while. The first year and a half, 2 years of our business, we were doing almost zero revenue. And now, we're a fully profitable team growing really fast.
Yeah, makes sense. Patience and persistence. I love it.
Yeah.
In terms of growth levers, which helped you kind of grow your business, do you have any recommendation for other SaaS entrepreneurs, maybe who have similar markets as you, similar kind of target audience in the B2B kind of B2C space? What have you seen, work really well for you guys?
So the really interesting thing about our business, and I think this is true for all businesses, is that the marketing channels change over time. In those early days, you can do a webinar with 50 people and make enough sales where it actually like moves the needle. So early days, we were doing lots of webinars. We had an affiliate program that worked pretty well. Getting our customers to refer their friends, that sort of thing. Getting people to blog about us, create YouTube videos about us, etc. But in the backbone of all of that was our content marketing machine. So we now have 5 people whose full-time job is to create articles, videos, guides, tutorials, tools, etc. for us. So content marketing has been a big source of customers and leads for us. And that was really important for me when we started that about 3-4 years ago. Was SEO and content takes a lot of time, and this is a business that I want to build over the next like 100 years. Obviously I won't be here, but over the next 100 years. So like I needed to establish that really early, and I wanted to be the sort of leading voice for the creator community. So I think like for any SaaS business, content is just killer. But you got to start it early, and it can take a year or 2 years to really build up. So that's kind of been mostly where we focus most of our time. But in the last few years, we've actually been spending a lot more money on paid marketing. So paid marketing wasn't working for us in the first few years, but now it's a huge source of new leads for us.
Makes sense. Have you, what would you say are maybe the biggest failures in your growth strategies? I know you mentioned like you've done some product launches, maybe not a failure, but have you done any kind of other experiments that you said, you thought would work and maybe isn't worth it for your business?
Yeah, definitely. But I would say that one of the important things to do is, the thing that didn't work last year could definitely work this year and could definitely work the following year. So we're constantly like retesting on things that haven't worked for us. As example, paid marketing didn't work 2 years ago for us. So similar things, like we launched a podcast. We spent almost $50,000 producing it, did a whole season. That really was a bust.
Really?
I think like we didn't have enough distribution probably, and I think we got under 1,000 listens per episode, which is fine. But I think we were hoping to at least maybe break even on it or something like that. So that was something that sort of failed for us a couple of years ago. But I don't necessarily think I think we could revisit it in a year or something, and maybe it will work. What else? We've had things that we like. For example, we ran an online conference last year, which more than broke even. But we're really excited about running it again this year and using all the things that we learned from that original conference and making it better and hopefully making it even more profitable for us. But yeah, we're constantly revisiting every growth strategy.
No, makes complete sense. And what would you say are some of the biggest challenges right now, you'd say, in terms of growing or scaling your Podia?
So I think, there's a bunch of different ones across, every department. In the product and the development department, the biggest things for us is that, we have a very technically complicated product. We've got a lot of things going on behind the scenes. So to continue to make it really simple for our customers to use, but also to continue to add additional like features and functionality to it, there's this very big balance that we're having to sort of weigh. Like, we add this new feature that makes the product more complicated, but also has higher impact. So there's this big product development balance that we're facing right now. But it's been going great, and I think we're treading the line very carefully. In terms of sort of more the business as a whole, we're hiring a bunch of different positions, mostly lots of developers right now. But it's hard to find great talent, in tech. It's just difficult.
Sure.
And especially for us, we were a fully remote company since day one. And it was very easy for us to differentiate ourselves in the hiring market because, like, if you want to work remote, come work for us. But now, like, every company is remote, and a lot of companies are going full remote. So there's way more competition for job postings. But we have a really great place to work. So we do get a lot of like good applicants. And then on the marketing side, it's really just about, continuing to scale all of our channels, and, seeing better numbers this quarter than last quarter.
Of course. Yeah. Cool. So if anyone's listening and looking for a job, reach out to Spencer. They're hiring.
Rails developers.
Rails developers. Awesome. Spencer, kind of shifting gears here, kind of rapid fire questions, but answer as you like. Who or what would you say, 3 of the best resources? That could be books and or people like mentors or people you follow, would you say have been instrumental to your success over the last few years?
So they're mostly going to be people that I just know in person. So unfortunately, like, I can't share the resources.
Okay. Any books?
Well, yeah, I mean, both of Ben Horowitz's books I've loved. They are more for larger companies, but I think you can learn a lot of like tactical information. And I think one of the things I think about all the time from his books are this wartime versus peacetime CEO stuff. But so I would definitely check those out. They're both great as audiobooks. But yeah, so in terms of like
about the hard things, right? That's one of them. What was the other one?
Yeah, that's one. And then there's one around culture that's really important. For I think that's one of the big things that we care a lot about is culture. And I think getting culture right early on is super, super important. Sure. But mostly like my resources so I have a CEO coach who I talk to about once a month, and she's great. She sort of helps me through a lot of talk through a lot of different challenges. And then I have entrepreneurs that I've known for, 10, 15 years in New York City, which is where I mostly live. Who, I talk to and text with every single day, share questions, comments, thoughts. And then every once in a while, or not every once in a while, but every quarter we have a board meeting. And so like I meet with my investors and share thoughts and questions there as well, but mostly just years and years of experience.
Sure. Okay. Anybody else you follow? Like, I don't know, on Twitter, or anybody you really like and maybe look up to right now? Or
I mean, I don't really, I'm not like a big tech celebrity follower type. I have lots of respect for like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like those sorts of big iconic figures. And I do really like all the things that they've done for the world. But I don't really necessarily follow like single founders or things like that. I kind of care more about like products in the market, like, oh, I love this product. So, that sort of thing. Less it's kind of the person behind the scenes.
Fair enough. So a couple of exits, doing really well right now, profitable, good team, building something for the long term. What does success mean to you today, Spencer? Whether it's personally, financially, business, there's no right answer.
So I think for me, it's just being happy with what I do. That is success. We spend so much time at work and working on various things, and there's nothing I'd rather be doing. Like, I think you could offer me lots of money today to sell, and I wouldn't be interested because I just love working with our customers. I love working with my team. I've never worked with a better team in my entire life. I've never worked on a better problem in my entire life. I love the idea of helping people make money online. Like, I think that's awesome. That's kind of where I started, when I was 11 years old. So I'm loving life right now. I'm loving the product. I'm loving how we get better every day. So yeah, happiness is kind of the thing that drives me these days as an older man.
Nice. So you are
37 soon.